Did YouTube grifters kill Dragon Age? Let me clarify. Oh man, he put his shit on protected? Oh, he blocked me. Oh my god, I didn't even know this. But it doesn't matter anymore, I'm getting through, bitch. Why is it all these old baldies with beards? They're getting mad like this. Who is this guy? BioWare killed this game before it even came out. Yeah, people actually think that I killed Dragon Age.
Well, hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. I did sit down after our stuff we did today, and
this one's worse than mine. See? I told you I could get worse.
Read some of the comments on my last video, which seems to have upset some people, which is fine. I just wanted to clarify a couple of things for what it's worth. Number one, I was responding to somebody in the chat asking, did I think that the social media grifter types had harmed and been the cause?
I love how he says it's a grifter. Like, what do you think? Like, I don't think this. Like, why would I be lying about what I think about this? Why? Like, again, it's like the moment that somebody uses that word, that's one of the words. Like, I hear that word, I say, okay, never mind. Never mind. I don't need to think about this seriously anymore.
Of Dragon Age Veilguard not doing that well at sales. Mm-hmm. And so I was responding to a direct question, and my answer is, though, yeah, I think they contributed. So I want to just be clear on that. That's where it came from.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, negative feedback and negative press about a game is going to hurt the game. That's crazy. Wow. True.
I think that the people who have not played the game and think that if they tune into a certain streamer that I would call
just say my fucking name. Just say me. I'm not going to get offended. A certain who could it possibly be? What is this? I'm Voldemort, man. Like, what is this?
Grifter. I do know what grift means, by the way, but I'll address that in a moment.
Oh, he will. Great.
If they tune into certain streamers or Twitter people or whatever, there are people that are selling a narrative that, as someone who has played 22 hours of the game, I don't think that narrative is there, that this is some...
Okay, well, I have played 71 hours of the game, and so I overrule you. I'm right, you're wrong. Play the game more. You lose. Nope. Done. It's so easy. It's the easiest disregard of my life. And that's his rules, by the way. I'm not playing by my rules. I think he's entitled to his opinion, so am I. I'm just saying by his rules.
You know, you can't take 2 steps forward in the game without hearing about some kind of LGBT, quote, agenda or propaganda. I mean, I'm 22 hours in. I really haven't, you know, there's nothing in there. There are things in there like that if you search for them. And there may be things coming up where you can't avoid them if you...
Yeah, they forcefully make your character gay and trans. You can't get out of it. There's no way to get out of it. They make you gay. They say you have to be gay now. And if you don't, you have to restart the game. It's just the way it is.
You could avoid them. But for 22 hours, I haven't really seen anything other than you can romance if you choose, or at least you can try to. I haven't tried, so I don't know what the response would be. Same-sex characters as your main character. And I think, or I know at the beginning, but I don't really know what it means. There's some kind of weird language about... do you want to be a trans character or not, or something in some choice, which I didn't understand. So I just, you know. Anyway, point is...
So you don't even know what you're talking about? This is when you put the mirror down whenever you start the game. It's like an hour into the game.
You know, I do think a lot of people have been sold a vision of the game that isn't accurate. But so in that sense, yeah, my comments stand. I'm not walking any of them back. Why would I? But I do want to clarify, though, two things that I do think, and I've talked about this numerous times since I've started playing the game on different videos, but it wasn't included in any meaningful way in that video. So I do want to address two things. Number one, the only other Dragon Age game I've played was Inquisition, and I really liked it. Didn't finish it. Obviously won Game of the Year 2013, 2014. A lot of people loved it. And this game is very different, obviously, in art style and tone. And when I mentioned
you chose to be gay with the mirror? Guys, I hate to break the fourth wall, but I did that on purpose. I made my character trans and I acted like I didn't know. I did know. Of course I was farming. I don't like to break... Of course. Of course I know that. It's a joke. Everybody thought it was funny.
A lot of more hardcore Dragon Age fans are like, oh, that's kind of what they do. Dragon Age Origins, different than 2 different than Inquisition. You know, so I assumed that was like when we did Twisted Metal 2, which was totally cartoony, and then we went to Twisted Metal Black, which was totally M-rated. Maybe it's like that's just what they do. But I get that if you came to Dragon Age Veilguard and you were expecting, either because EA had marketed it initially in some way and then they kind of feel like they're pulling the wool over your eyes, I don't know. But regardless...
I feel like he doesn't even like it. Because he's like trying to talk around the fact that like he can see why people don't like it. But just say it, man. He's not saying a lot. Yeah.
If you came to the game and you felt, I thought we were getting a Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, dark fantasy, super serious thing, that is clearly not what this is. So I'm like, yeah, I've never had a problem if somebody's saying, I don't like the game because of that.
Okay.
I mean, they can say whatever they want. They have a right to hate it for all kinds of reasons. There's too much purple in it. I don't care. But I'm just saying that is, I think, from people who have spent time with the game, you're like, oh, well, there's no doubt it's a different tonality. The other thing is the writing. Even in the video, a lot of people were critical to me or of me about, I say the barf scene and the push-up scene, even though I agree with the messaging of what they're trying to communicate, terribly written, really cringy and stupid.
Everybody knows that.
The overall game, I like...
Let's get back to the part where you're talking about me. Let's get back to the important part.
Writing of the narrative. I like that you've got this, what's his name, the elf guy who is kind of a god who's living in Rook's mind, like he's taking up resonance in his subconscious.
He's not in his mind, he's in the Fade. That's not what happened.
And he has to meditate to commune with them. I think that's pretty cool. I think there's a number of side quests that are really cool. But yes, I said when I started playing it, it feels like a CW show. Not all throughout. It does kind of dip into some pathos and darkness at times, but it absolutely feels like a young adult fantasy novel, and it's a little too, everything's great, you know, it's got a little, you know, I like the high adventure tone of it, but I do think
say it's cringe. Just say it's cringe and it's for kids. Like just say it. Okay, you're a 40-year-old balding man. Probably most of the people watching this are other 40-year-old balding men. Just fucking say it. We all know it. You don't have to pussyfoot around. Just say it.
It's a little youngish, which again, it's fine.
Yeah,
that's not why I love the game. And again, I'm making a distinction between the style of writing and performances and the actual narrative, which I think, you know, the plot of what they're trying, you know, the elven gods who have, wanting to rip the veil open even more and bring out the monsters and take over, and there's some neat stuff.
22 hours, huh?
There, but point being, that complaint, the tone, I get the complaint of this isn't the tone we were sold, or that even though Dragon Age changes game to game, this is too much of a change. I get. You know, and again, you have a right
What's the part about
to have
me?
a valid opinion about, oh, I didn't like the gameplay. I like the gameplay. The combat's pretty simple so far. It's not very hard.
It doesn't
but
get
it's
better.
flashy. It's fun. It's balanced with leveling up your character. It's balanced
He hasn't fought the Hydra. He didn't fight the Hydra. That's why he's saying this.
with I like the exploration. It feels like a really cool, fun adventure that you're on. So, but yeah, the stuff I was talking about specifically in that video were the people who were going off about
here we go.
the LGBT stuff. And, you know, again, you have a right. I don't agree with it. I think it's short-sighted. I think it's ignorant when you think there's some kind of, let's just say that you and I, if you are one of those people, we don't agree on the motivations behind why you are seeing more progressive ideas in your media.
What's the reason?
A lot of people are into this whole conspiracy thing, and I'm just like, that's not what's happening, in my opinion. But
what is happening? Never explained.
Yeah, you have a right not to like it, but
okay,
if you're gonna be cruel about it online and talk about how mean or be mean, talk about mean things about the trans community or the LGBT community.
So you think Tosh is bad? That means you hate trans people? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Wow. How about that?
And you can't really back it up. You're just kind of like, I don't want that in my game. Yeah, I think you're a fucking idiot. And I don't like you. And you don't like me, and that's okay.
That's why he has me blocked on Twitter.
Hey, man, at least you're passionate. That's something. More than a lot of people can say. But no, I do not like your view on this issue, and I do not like the way you handle it. Hang on, I'm yelling at people. And so, let's be clear, that stands. But the other stuff, I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, be well. Happy Thanksgiving. I will talk to you later. Maybe.
Who is this guy, man? Who is this guy? Why would he do this? Let me get a video. Like, it's, I don't get it. What is he on about? Like, what a waste of fucking time watching this shit. You didn't even talk about anything. Damn, this dude can't deal with the fact that people refuse to eat the crap that global publishers are trying to shove down their throats. Play my sexuality. And people are so mad at this guy, too. And the thing is, like, I feel like this was all about me. Like, this shit was all about me out of nowhere. Because he said a certain streamer...
When you say that the gaming community ruined this game's success, I mean, you know, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. If you're EA, you've got to kind of prepare for the market winds that you're sailing into and all that. And so they should have been prepared to counter, and they weren't. Really, at this point,
you can't counter it. If people don't like it, you can't... If people don't like something, you can't tell them, oh, you're wrong, you do like this. No, you like this. What do you mean?
That gaming community that you're talking about has done is they've made it so they've actually made games worse, which is what they say they're trying to not do.
I've made games worse.
Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that for whatever...
Thank you. Charismatic. It's a nice guy. Thank you.
For reason people respond to, people who haven't actually played a game played this game will hate it just because...
Doesn't know who Solus is. He doesn't. He's the one who's talking about who doesn't play the game. He doesn't even know who the main, like, one of the main antagonists of the game is. Does not know who that is.
They're sort of told to hate it. And so what does EA do next time? They don't make Stellar Blade. They just continue to sort of, you know, vanilla the fuck out of everything they work on and make sure that no one's going to have anything to complain about. They straight up ask you if you want transgender game options 1 hour in. You select yes or no. So all the people bitching invited it into their game. I don't even know what it asks, but this character apparently is the Barv trans character, and so far there's nothing... Not that that needs to be... I mean, to me, that's the equivalent of saying, do you want black people? Do you want black people in your game? We have a button that'll get the blacks out. That's the equivalent of it. But if that's what you're saying, I mean, I didn't even know that's what they were asking. The only thing I've come across so far, and again, I've seen that cutscene. It's terribly written and performed, the Barv thing. God. But the only thing I've even come across so far is
like menu settings. Uncheck it. Uncheck women. Uncheck black people. Uncheck trans people. Oh my god.
When you're talking to characters, and one of your multiple options is you can romance a character who is the same sex as your character. And you can just be like...
dishonest interpretation. Everybody knows that's not the problem. Here is one of the problems, though. It's that... So, it is and it isn't a problem. And let me explain what I mean by that. Because it's a very interesting difference with Dragon Age versus... Obviously, you know, the big comparison there would be Baldur's Gate 3, right? So, in Baldur's Gate 3, the developers of the game did not give the characters sexualities. They just said the characters were player sexual. But with Dragon Age, they had to outwardly state that the characters were pansexual. Again, trying to tie a video game universe into real life. I think that's what people don't like. It had nothing to do with whether you could have a gay relationship or not. I was at a gay wedding in World of Warcraft in 2007. The two of my guildmates married each other. They weren't gay in real life, but in the game, they were gay. They were real gay in the game. Super gay. I don't think that's the problem. That never was the problem. It's people that heavy-handedly apply real-life politics to fantasy situations in a way that feels condescending and cheap. That's what happened. It's so easy to understand. And they do it really fucking bad. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's... Angry Joe said in his review, previous Dragon Age games had gay and trans people, but it felt natural and not forced in. Well, because of bad writing.
Oh, no thanks. You're like Chad and SNL. It's like, no thanks. And, you know, if that's not what you're into. The grifters who hate woke still stream
This is me. This is about me.
Game and played it to finish grifting how bad the game was. So yeah, they didn't like it, but played it for views and ad revenue equals a grift. Yeah. Avowed Dev said they're making.
But I played it off stream more than I played it on stream. I played it 2 days on stream, probably like 12 hours. I played it off stream like probably 50 hours, probably 10 of it, maybe 15 of it AFK, but like other than that, I played it a lot. Yeah. What's the problem with that? Why does he use that word so much? It's Twitter brain rot. It's the new word that people use because like racist doesn't work anymore. And so the idea of grifting, so like you have to understand like grifting means that you're effectively like lying to people for money. So the implication is it's basically like a form of character assassination where they imply that you only have viewpoints because they're financially beneficial. And so that implicitly devalues your opinions. That's what he's trying to do, right? That's why people use the word. It's like shill. Yeah, it's basically shill. Yeah, lack of integrity and validation, exactly.
Game really woke to upset Elon and Grums. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know what you're talking about, Eddie. I know the art director was basically pushing back because Elon got upset and Grums got upset that there are, God forbid, pronouns in that you can select or maybe not even select in Avowed. And so the art director got pissed off and the community manager shut her account down. But I don't know.
Man, I wonder what it must be like to be in the office today at that company. And like everybody has to deal with harassment because that one guy couldn't keep his mouth shut. It's like he had to be that guy.
You know, the game's almost done, so I don't really, you know, that may have just been sort of a pissy kind of statement. But I mean, again, you know, I mean, it's... Mm-hmm. And I agree, Morgan, when you say, oh my God, again with this. I know, but this is the news of the day. You know, I mean, this is sort of what happens in the gaming world right now. We're still talking games. I'm still playing lots of games. We're still doing game design discussions, but these are the people that, you know, are influencing something Don't know why. Don't know why.
See, this is what it is. He's mad because people on the internet have opinions, and their opinions are shared by other people. The people like this hate the fundamental idea of free speech, and they want everybody who disagrees with them to not have a platform. That's what it is.
But they are.
Shouldn't it be called the Grifter for constantly talking about it?
Imagine how
Maybe. I don't know.
unsuccessful you have to be that you're willing to go, you know what I'll do then? My game wasn't working out. So you know what I'll do? I'll build a whole career about bitching about stuff that I find woke.
He's talking about Mark Kern.
Really? God, that must suck for you. I'm not trying to be like reverse psychology the guy. I'm just saying it's like, Jesus, man. Just go make some shit if you don't like it. There's a lot to like out there. I mean, here's what I'll grant you. If you're watching...
It's not my problem. Like, he wants to get mad at Mark Kern. I don't give a fuck. It's not my problem.
Play this game. Yeah. I get that you would look at this game and say, well, this doesn't seem like a Game of the Year contender. And it may not be.
It turns out it wasn't.
Probably isn't for most people. But I've been playing this now on stream for a little over an hour. Are you seriously looking at this and going, this looks like utter shit and it's crap?
It would look a lot better if you hit the barrels that were red. They blow up. It makes it easier to kill these guys. Just a, tip from a 71-hour player to a 22-hour player. Look a whole lot better.
Like, I mean, really? I mean, that's okay. It's your opinion. That's fine. But, like, how can you... I mean, it's fun. It's a fun, solid game. And I get the argument of like, hey, I don't have time for just fun enough. There's so much to play. I respect that. But it's like, if it's not your favorite game, don't play it. But it's not shit. Now, by the way, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am curious, Nick, when you say you think it looks mediocre. So what, if somebody was in the market for an action RPG... not Baldur's Gate, not a turn-based RPG, like an action game.
Yeah.
Like, like what you're seeing here, but there's still stats and a big story and characters and a party to build and all that. If this one's mediocre, which one would you suggest they play? Like which
Elden Ring, obviously. It's obviously Elden Ring. What are we talking about? It's Black Myth Wukong. Like, what? It's the easiest question of my life. It's like, what do you mean, man? What are you talking about? We gotta figure out, did this guy play Elden Ring? Did he play Wukong? Did he play the other games? I don't know.
One does it really well that is still,
he said, not turn-based,
relatively modern enough.
Yeah,
that would still scratch that itch.
Yeah. There's no games like that. Nobody makes action combat games anymore. No, they're not popular.
I mean, Elden Ring doesn't do that. Elden Ring's my favorite game of all time, but Elden Ring's not this. Elden Ring doesn't have anywhere near.
Yeah, that's why it's good. Close
to this kind of combat. Elden Ring's combat is much more, I would say, tactical and measured. This is much more hack and slash. Okay, so Morgan says
played the wrong build.
Rebirth does it better. Okay, that's fair. That seems probable. Honestly, what pushed me away from Rebirth, and I played the demo, was just I read some reviews and stuff, and people were saying it's phenomenal, but it is so fucking long. I mean, people were saying it's like, my God, this thing, and it's the second part. I didn't even play the first part. So it's kind of, yes, Elden Ring is a better
game. It's a better game. Yeah, better game. Exactly. And so, no, that's true. He's right about that. That's so true. Yeah. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me see if I fix this shit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, better game.
Than this for me personally, yes.
Right.
But this scratches a very different itch. That's like comparing, a fine, whatever 3-star meal
To McDonald's. Yeah, exactly.
Meals to like a really solid, slightly above McDonald's dinner. It's like they both.
So you're saying this is McDonald's, like, but you're like, I don't understand. Like, what is he trying to say? So he says one of them is like a fine dinner, and the other one is McDonald's, but they're not like. What are we doing?
Have places in your life. All right. Well, speaking of places in my life, the place I have to go is back to the grocery store. So, but I will be here Thanksgiving morning, California time, which is like 9 o'clock my time for a Thanksgiving stream. So, if you want to hang out with us, and we'll probably play some games, talk, I'll show you some cool stuff. It's going to be very chill and hang out, something to do to celebrate the holiday and hang out with everybody and fuck around for an hour and a half or whatever. So if you're bored or you got nothing to do or everybody's still sleeping, whatever it is you're doing on Thanksgiving, we'll be here. And hopefully we will see you guys really, really soon. All right, but for now I got to go prep that. So
great. So, basically, I really, really hate this. I hate that I don't get the ego validation of him saying that it's actually all about me. Because I think, and, y'all can check me on this or not, I feel like all of what he was saying was all about me. Or Angry Joe? No, because Angry Joe had barely made the video at this point. And he said streamers, too. Who else streams that says the stuff that I do? You rebate it. Could be about Mark Kern. Mark Kern doesn't stream. That's the difference. Yeah, and he also blocked me on Twitter. I've been playing this game for an hour. Are you really going to tell me this game is crap? Yes. Oh my god. You're really gonna tell me this shit sucks? Oh man, the game is complete trash. It's a mockery of previous Dragon Age game. Even lifty content creators are tearing it apart. Yeah, everyone who doesn't like garbage is a grifter. Own the chuds. I know, man. He didn't make any responses to this shit either. Did you just compare black people to being trans? To be fair, like, the optics of saying that is bad, but like, I understand what he was trying to say. It was just funny to hear it. Oh man, I love people like this talk about me. You got to leave a comment on the video. Yeah. Will you play Dragon Age Origins to see how this downgrades from the series? I probably will at some point. Yeah, but it is really fucking funny for me to see this, especially this guy getting mad and oh man. Wait, what's this? Took a post-Thanksgiving food nap, and I had a dream that Elon had gotten lost in the dessert. I had to wake up and realize that it was just a dream. I'm sad. Who is this guy? Where did this guy come from? He's a creator of God of War and Twisted Metal? We should go back to making games. Yeah, tweeting doesn't work nearly as well for him. Man. I don't know what to say.